Welcome to Happy Hour Holidaze, the podcast where we toast to entrepreneurship, business, and extraordinary life stories. I'm your host, Manny Fabre, alongside Sean Fabre. Today in studio, we got some awesome hosts, or some also awesome guests that you'll really like. We got Alicia Henry. She's got an extraordinary story that's going to be unbelievable. We can't wait to hear it. And then we got the rainmaker realtor in the freaking house, Jonna Pina.
Shout out Jeff Henry, though.
Yeah, shout out Jeff Henry, too.
That's Jeff's sister right there.
Yeah. We just found out right now. What's up, Jeff?
We didn't even know you had a sister.
I know. They were like, wait, Jeff has a sister? I'm like, yeah, Alicia, that's my friend. And they're like, what? They're related? So, yeah.
Unfortunately, Jeff has left to Texas, but we miss him here in Florida. We hope you visit often, but, good luck out there, and we really hope the best for everybody out there. So, Alicia, you have an extraordinary story. Let's kind of get the background of yourself, how you came up and how you became a successful entrepreneur. And, you went through some, huge obstacles in life, and you still had a positive outlook on it, and you powered through, and you're here today, forming a great nonprofit and so many other things you've done. So tell us a little bit about Alicia and how you kind of came up as a successful businesswoman.
Well, I was born and raised in Queens, New York, and we moved to Tampa. I finished high school here, and I've always my mom's a nurse, and she always wanted me to follow that path, and I actually started nursing school, and I noticed that it just wasn't for me. I just wasn't cool with wiping ass, So I was like,
true story.
So I just always been very artistic, and in school, whenever there was homecomings and proms, I would always be the one that does everybody's hair and makeup, and I just really enjoyed that. And I said, Mom, you know what, I'm gonna go to school, and I'm just gonna do hair and makeup. And she's like, that's not really a job. But I also had a bridal room, so moms can get makeovers. And I did a lot of princess parties, and I became one of the number one spas in Tampa that were known for throwing kids parties.
What was it called?
It was called Jazzy Jewels Party.
Jazzy Jewels Party.
Right by Sickles off of, was it Gun Highway?
It was on Gun Highway, right next to Sickles. And I did that successfully for about 10 years. Wow. And then I just felt like I started to get stuck in the kids box. Everybody knew me as the throwing parties for kids and doing kids haircuts and kids things like that. But I really enjoyed doing more of the bridal stuff, the behind the scenes of the movie sets and things like that. So I kind of had to choose which way I wanted to go, and I ended up closing that business, and I just started to expand on the adult business, doing bridal. And
you opened up your other salon over there, and then you started doing all those other services too.
Exactly. So I
more women-based services.
Yeah. Okay. I opened more of offering more spa services and just more even med spa services at that time. And then I had a facility where I kind of just rented out the rooms. And then COVID happened, and I had to close that business. And then I said, you know what? I'm really enjoying the freedom that I had to be able to – I had a small studio, but just to manage myself. And I had grown a team of girls that were on call. So it wasn't like I had to manage them. Because in the hair industry, people don't want to pay booth rent. They don't want to, they're like, they rent the booth or they rent the room, and they're like, well, I didn't make money this week or this month. And they don't understand that doesn't matter. If you're a boss, you still got to pay your rent. All of your stuff is sitting in there. So it was just a lot dealing with that. So I decided I enjoyed just having my own space and just worrying about myself. And that way I can grow and do other things that I on. And I actually got into this online beauty business where I signed up to a multi-level marketing, which I would have never did. But because it was during COVID, I said, you know what? We're stuck here at home. Let me just sign up and see. joining that business, I've already surpassed all the goals and already was in management and had over 50 people signed up under me.
In
so
8 days?
Mm-hmm. She's not exaggerating.
Damn.
She's not exaggerating.
So yeah.
So you're like multi-level
Listen,
marketing.
I
Let me
got-
crush
listen,
that.
She's calling everybody. She's like, I need you to order this right now. I need you to sign up. Pick by love you next.
Yeah,
Like,
so
girl,
I
she didn't
basically
play.
broke those records. And meanwhile, I had a friend who said, you know, I'm glad you're not with this guy anymore. He's toxic. You guys shouldn't be together. I really want to introduce you to someone else. And I was like, right now I'm about making my money.
That
And
was the
right now
last
I'm
thing.
crushing this
Yeah.
online thing. Like, I was able to redo, like, the floors in my house.
Oh, shit.
Get me some new boobs. You know? I was loving it, you know, and people were struggling during COVID, and I was making money. So she was like, I want you to meet this guy, and you guys can talk online. So she showed me his, you know, she gave me his Instagram. He started following me, and I looked at his Instagram, and I was like, I don't think that's gonna work because I saw multiple babies on his thing, you know.
Were they actually his kids?
No.
No.
But he was a good
There
uncle.
are women rushing the judgment.
Yeah. He's
got
really,
5 kids. Those are his nephews and nieces.
He was just a really good uncle, but they were like, he has like multiple twins as like his niece and nephew. So I was like, there's a bunch of kids and they're like all the same age, you know? So I was like, I don't know. And he just looked like a really good guy.
Oh, yeah. God forbid you get
God
with one of
forbid,
those.
right? Oh, he's a good guy. That's
He looked
not
like
gonna
a
work.
nice guy. No, let me go for that asshole over there.
Exactly. And that's what I was used to, going for the asshole. But I know after the last asshole, I was like, you know what? I want the complete opposite. The complete opposite of what I had before. So, because none of my friends, they were just like, you're giving this guy a chance? Because, like, I was just very cutthroat. Like, I didn't give anybody a chance.
We love you, Norman.
I didn't give anybody a chance.
She
And
didn't.
I was very open to him, surprisingly, that they were like, even though I tried to cancel the first couple dates, and it was because it was during COVID, and I said, you know what? Give me some time. Right now, I'm trying to build this empire. I'm making some money. I need to concentrate.
Yeah.
And he respected that. He's like, you know what? That really kind of attracted me to you.
So you did
because-
cancel the first few times.
Well, I did because of COVID,
Of COVID.
and everything that
So
was
where was the
going
first
on.
date at?
So the first date that we planned, but rewind a little bit. We had planned to go to our first date. And then I took a test because I wasn't feeling good, and I got COVID.
Oh, shit.
So we had to wait 3 weeks after that time. So that's when I really noticed that this guy might be the one. Like,
He was a
He-
good guy. He lived up
Before-
to the good guy.
Damn,
Before
he's got that online game down.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, because you guys hadn't been
No,
on a
but
date yet.
we haven't even been on a date, but
And she's
we-
already like, he's the one.
I'm
the
like,
one,
wow,
yeah.
I need to give this guy a real chance because we, first of all, had conversations over the phone. And when I tell you we talked about everything, like he laid everything out on the table. He was like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. He had a list.
A list.
He had a list.
Like
and
an actual written down list?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And he's like, I hit everything on the list. I'm like, he read me the list. I'm like, this really sounds like me. Like, what's going on?
It's a very well organized individual.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Yes,
is.
he is.
So we learned 2 things about dating. Don't put kids on your Instagram profile.
Yes.
And then have a list.
Yes, and he had a list, and it's because he's been single for a while. He's
Is he older than you?
yeah,
Younger?
he's like 6, almost 7 years older than me, and he was not married and didn't have any children, and
Check. I'm just kidding.
and
So you had a list too.
yeah.
Sorry.
But actually, on my list was not. I was like, you know what? I'm down for somebody who has kids because I wasn't really open
No,
because I have older children.
That doesn't sound like what you said earlier.
Well, I
saw a bunch of
two
kids
sets
on
of
the
twins.
Instagram.
Yeah, but that's two sets of twins.
But the babies. I was hoping that he would have kids like older kids.
Yeah, like over
but
10.
these were like a bunch of babies. Yeah.
Like she thought they were recent situations.
Yeah.
That's different.
Like, damn, he's in and out quick.
And they were like the same age, but they were twins, so I get it. But I was just very open to him because of what happened with COVID.
Very strange.
Yeah. And literally, this guy sent me flowers every day.
Every day.
Every day.
He's like, what do you need? I'm praying for you. He sent me vitamins, every vitamin that I needed.
Oh, shit.
And
sounds like a sugar
I
daddy.
need a Chanel purse, the earrings. Yeah, this will help me get better. Just put the vitamins inside the purse.
Oh my God. So he literally did all of that. And I said, you know what? Wow. Like, the people that I knew that were close to me weren't even there for me as much as he was during COVID. And
Did you hear that, Jonna?
I was there. You better ask her.
She was there.
I ding-donged her door many times. There was stuff there for me too.
But
not just
this
you,
is
Norman.
when COVID was really scary because it was like the first time that it hit.
Touch people.
They were like, we don't know if she's gonna survive this type of thing.
Yeah, Christian sent us a photo of you dressed up in like an all hazmat suit almost. When you went to go pick up your dad or something.
Yes, I went to the hospital to pick him up. He had COVID.
And you had a hazmat suit on, made out of like garbage bags.
Made out of garbage bags. I cut a hole here. I swear. I literally had the hazmat gloves up to here. I taped it all up, and I went to the emergency exit of the hospital. I'm like, I'm ready for my dad, covered in plastic, and everyone's like, who is this crazy person?
Bro, the news had us going crazy.
Yeah, well, this was like the first time where we were like cleaning our groceries, and like, this is when they really had us freaked out, and like
they thought NASA showed up to the hospital.
Yeah, they did. I looked like an alien that just landed from Mars. Like, I'm here to get my dad, and they're like, what? But
going back to COVID, just COVID.
So
COVID,
he was there for me during COVID, and I said, you know what, I have to give this guy a date after all of that. Like, after I got better, I had to make sure that I tested negative first. So it took about 3 weeks to get like a full negative test because I didn't want to put him at risk, my kids or anybody else. And then we planned our first date.
And we'll stop it right there. When we get back, we'll find out how she found love during the COVID pandemic. We'll be right back. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much.
And follow. Does she find love?
Welcome back to Happy Hour Holidaze, and we're going to see if Alicia found love during the pandemic. The online game guy. He's got a freaking game.
What'd you call him? Norman.
Norman.
Did Norman sweep her off her feet on date number 1?
With the list.
Did they get married in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months? So where was the first date?
Alicia it was the first date she was going to.
Okay, so we went.
You felt sorry for him, so you
we
had to give him a date. That's what I gotta give him a date now.
No, I didn't feel sorry for him, but
I think she was just nervous to like.
I was nervous.
Give love a shot again.
Well, probably because of your previous relationships.
Yes, and I was in that like toxic cycle for over 10 years that I just never really opened up to another guy. So it was just hard for me to do that transition. But the day came, and my girls walked me through it. And they were like, you can do this. And I'm like, yes, I got this. So we went on the first date. So I was like, I'm very particular about having people to pick me up at my house. He wanted to be, a good guy and pick me up. I said, I don't know. I'm going to have you pick me up at my mom's house. She's not there.
Oh, that's a smart idea, actually.
And my mom is not there. But I was like, just meet me there. So he pulls up and meets my parents before me because they end up pulling up and they're like, what is this guy doing in my
you didn't even give your parents a heads up.
No, because they were not going to be home. So my mom, thankfully, you know, there wasn't another guy that I was talking about, because when she pulled up, she's like, "Oh, are you the attorney?"
Damn, so he already knew he was in.
He was in.
Because you had told your parents.
Yeah, I had mentioned to my mom.
He's like, okay, I'm in.
And she's like, "Are you the attorney?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And when I pull up, I see him with my parents. And then we meet going to the Orlando outlet.
That's actually a nice 1 hour drive where you get to talk. And
so we got to talk, and then we went and we did some shopping. And then after that, it was kind of like a wrap. We like went out to eat like on our official date, and he told me like while we were eating, he's like, "You know what? You're the one."
No shit, on the first date.
So that's the closer. You're the one.
You're the one.
Damn, bro, you a creep, dog. Get away from me.
He's like, "You're the one."
Oh, you tell a woman that, all of a sudden, I love
And
you.
they ghost you.
And
And
the funny thing is my friend, the mutual friend Teresa, she had told him, "Don't do it."
Oh shit.
Because he's like, "I'm gonna tell her she's the one," and she's like, "Don't do it. You're gonna run her off. She's not gonna like that. Don't do it." And he did it anyway. He did. He did it anyways. And he's like, "You know what? You're the one. I think you're the one." And I just.
But to be fair, I mean, y'all gone through COVID together.
Yeah.
We're talking.
Well,
we're
no,
4 or
this is the
5
first
weeks
time they're
in.
meeting.
But you know, even if you don't meet a person, but you talk to them, I mean,
we still had
they
a couple
were on
months
FaceTime
talking.
and talking for hours on lockdown.
Well, we were not on FaceTime.
But-
Oh yeah, you didn't meet him on FaceTime.
So you
That's
never
right.
saw his face in person
No,
or
until
over
the
the
first
phone
date.
until
And
the
that's
first
why I
date.
was
Yeah.
nervous too, because we were beginning to catch feelings for each other, and we haven't seen each other. So I was like, you know how when you meet someone, something could just be off, and I'm like, all of that built up could just go to waste. But we actually connected in person, and it worked out. So
That's insane because a lot of people that you talk to on the phone, you don't know if in person they're going to act the same way.
Right, like was he
Exactly.
putting on a facade?
Yeah,
Was it
exactly.
his game he was
Was he
running?
really a serial killer? Was he going to say, put the lotion on your skin or else it gets the hose again, you know, type shit.
Yeah.
I'm not having
we
sex.
are not. Yeah. He's like, he's not
And
having sex.
And that was the
because
hook,
he
line,
wants-
and sinker right there.
Because he wants, you know, the person that he does marry to be, he wants it to be like, in the eyes of God, to be like blessed and
and
Oh,
blessed.
you did say
and-
preacher's son, right?
Yeah.
He is.
So I was like, wow. Okay, so
That's
that means
different.
that you're not going to be pushing me for that kind of stuff, and you're going to take it easy. And so I just was like, you know what? Like, I love that. And some women wouldn't, but I was like perfectly fine with that. And that also was what made me feel comfortable around him.
Yeah, because you knew it was real. It was about you. It wasn't about just.
This sounds like a fucking epic love story.
Doesn't it?
It
I
does.
know,
No, but-
Netflix.
I mean, but it's good. But it's good because during that whole time, I mean, you get to know each other. You become friends before you
Exactly.
become the
And
lovers.
Correct. And you build a foundation of friendship. It's not based on lust.
No.
You don't know if it's real or is it just really good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you don't
Yeah.
know. So,
And so then he told me, like, a couple...
This is all during the first date, right?
Yeah, now we're passing the first date.
Oh, okay.
A couple weeks
All
later. So a couple weeks later.
We're on the second date now.
Actually, we've been hanging out every day since.
yeah,
Ooh.
inseparable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
You found your best friend.
Yeah. And so he ended up meeting my parents.
Thought
Which
he already
they're
had.
amazing.
Again, but like officially.
Officially, yeah.
Officially, like they invited him over because, you know, I'm Trinidadian, so they like to cook. And
what is he?
He's American. He's black.
He's black. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very southern. Very opposite. That's
Where's
what
he
I'm saying.
from? Where's he from?
He's from Georgia, Manchester, Georgia.
Does he have a southern draw?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that's what
he
you
sure
fell in
does.
love
No.
with. Yeah, he was like, Alicia, let me tell you something. Wait a second.
That was actually the part that I had to kind of warm
Get
up
used
to
to?
because he was so southern.
Very southern. Man.
His voice was like, I was like, wow.
but
I'm
proper southern.
I'm a northern girl,
It's like
and
my
I'm from New
father-in-law.
York, so I'm not used to that southern. Like, his southern was like deep.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm a northern girl. He's a, but it worked.
But my
do opposites attract?
Apparently they do. My father-in-law, he's from Tennessee, and he's got a southern draw, and I swear to God, bro, this guy, he's 62, 63. He's got no problem with women.
Yeah,
that are like 10 years, 15 years younger than I'm like, Jerry, he's divorced. I'm like, Jerry, how do you do it? Let me tell you something, Sean. He looks like Sam Elliott from Tombstone. You know who Sam Elliott is? Yeah. Anyways, you were saying.
Yeah,
sorry.
but
Side story.
Yeah, he has definitely that southern accent. But now, like I don't really hear it that much.
He was on the phone with you before.
It's still
I
there.
didn't hear it.
It's still
I didn't hear it.
You kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you're with him every day.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're like tone deaf to it a little bit. But it's still there.
So then
but just to be clear, Norman is a Southern gentleman.
Yes.
Okay? We're not just talking like Southern, like down in the barn. Like, we're talking Southern.
Whoa, down at the barn. What is that supposed to mean?
Because you could take Southern a couple different ways. You can think like country cowboy. No. I'm talking,
Actually, country cowboy ain't bad either.
No, it's not bad. I'm just trying to differentiate his Southern from.
Yes. And actually, when I met him, because he's an attorney, all he wore
were suits.
Suits.
Yeah.
And I was like,
was that the first day too in a suit?
He wasn't in a suit, but he was dressed up.
But because you guys
he
went
like
just
a
for something
up?
Quick, right? Wasn't it like a quick dinner or lunch?
Well, we went to the mall, so
it wasn't like
he
a
had tried
all the way in Orlando. Driving to Orlando in a suit's a bitch. I will say that.
I don't know if he was wearing a suit. I can't really say, but I know in conversation we had talked.
Norman,
about
did you hear this? She does not remember what you were wearing
on the first date.
But I know,
on the first date.
But I know we had talked about like I was gonna help him with that. I said, "Look, I'm gonna help you get a little bit more sporty."
Sporty.
Yeah, because he didn't like own sneakers or
t-shirts.
any type of that stuff. He
so
literally
100% just
he literally
suited out.
was like suited up, bow ties, and I was like, I don't. The bow
Ain't
ties,
nothing wrong with that either.
Bow ties
gotta go.
You know what's funny? Like
Those
before,
whatever hats, they gotta go.
Oh no, fedoras?
Yeah, they gotta go.
Not fedoras.
Yeah, we had to donate all of that.
It's funny though because before we got married, okay, me and my brother to our wives, we would go out suited up all the time because we were single. We were like, fuck it, let's dress to the T's.
Yeah. He definitely
I can
does.
respect that.
But he still does.
He definitely dresses to impress. Of course, now he just got that swag.
Man, I wish we had a picture we could pull up on the screen.
He got a little bit more swag now, thanks to me. But
so you guys are a few dates in, couple weeks pass after that. You're seeing each other every day. What happens after that?
So then he asked me. He said, when will it be too soon to ask you? Like, how long would you wait in a relationship before getting married? What is the soonest and what is the longest you would wait before someone asked you? And I said, you know what? With you, and I said, no date is too soon, baby.
Oh, she got game too. She got game too.
5 minutes later, my phone rings.
How can he married?
I'm like, who is this number?
I said, no date is too soon, but a year and a half is as long as I would wait because, time's ticking, boo, you know? And
how old were you then?
I was like 37.
37.
Yeah, 37. So it had a small window if you need, because I know he didn't have kids, and he at least wanted one. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I ain't going to be 40 having a baby, so, sooner than later. So I told him that. And I didn't know that he was taking it literally. Like
that was like a literal question.
So you said it joking around, answering it, and he took it as if you were being 100% serious.
I don't know if I was 100% joking around because I kind of was like,
it's like 50.
You wanted it.
It was
because I kind of was.
Think it was going to be next week.
I was definitely open to it.
Yeah.
So I knew with me saying that, I meant it. Yeah. But I didn't think he would literally do that.
And then you get a call the same day that question was asked?
So this is all happening around her birthday. these questions that he's asking.
What month?
August.
And
August what?
And our first date was in July.
August 20-something?
20-something.
So
a month and a half after our first date.
No, when's your birthday?
26.
26?
Yeah.
Our sister's the 22nd.
Yeah.
So after he quizzes her with this, somehow, you know, he must ask you for my number at this point and telling her he wants my help planning her birthday, right? That's kind of where it went.
Yeah.
So I get this call and I pick up the phone and the southern voice hits that and I'm like, Norman? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, Norman, what's up? So he's like, hey, I really need to talk to you. And I was like, oh, God, like, it seems serious, you know? So I was like, okay, what's up? And he's like, God talked to me, and he told me I have to marry Alicia. I was like, you know, it's been, like, weeks, so I'm like,
damn.
And I, you know, and in my mind, I'm like,
and
okay,
how long have they been together so far? For
maybe 60 days, 2 months, like, talking now?
We were talking about a month and a half before we actually met, and then it was a month and a half, so about 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, in August,
so
right?
then you're talking to him 3 months in.
Yeah,
right?
so, you know, I didn't want to be that protective hater friend, like, whoa, Norman, you're moving too fast. Like, I don't know what God told you, but you need to call him back. I need you to call him back. And because, you know, I know her, and I'm like, man, if he asks her right now, she might freak out and run away. Like, you know, that's a lot. She's been through COVID. She got through this situation. She's meeting this new guy. She's open, but I'm like, man, how open? That's real open, you know?
But you didn't say any of that.
No, in my mind, I said it all. And then I'm like, should I text her? And I'm like, no, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to tell her. I was like, I'm not telling anyone. I said, I'm going to keep this between me, him, and God. Because he said, you know, God told him. So we're going to keep it between us three because I knew
God told him to do what?
To marry her.
Ooh.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah, like, not wait. Like, it had to happen. He said, I have to do this. I'm being moved to do this. Can you help me do this? And we're talking,
him.
I have, like, hours, minutes. I don't know how long. Like, he drops this on me. Her birthday is, like, just around the corner, like, maybe that Monday. I don't know. It was... So he's like, don't worry, I'm going to give you my Amex card, and you order everything we need to make a proposal on the beach. And I know she wants it on the beach, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah, I'm like, you're for real. Like, it's like, Amex, here's my Amazon, order away.
You should have been like, and I'm planning to buy a couple things for myself for helping you to do this.
Right? So I'm like, oh, my God. So, like, every time I'm talking to her, I know. And she's like, so what's nothing, like, and I'm like,
that's the crazy part.
How do you keep that?
I know,
from
like,
her?
because as a friend, should you say something? Be
no,
like,
you shouldn't.
Hey,
keep the surprise.
Don't tell him, or because it's so soon. I mean, that's a tough one on you to be like, what to do.
Whoa, don't give Jonna too much.
She
credit
did ask me a couple questions, but
like a roundabout way.
But she does that a lot.
Yeah.
Do you really like him?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself?
She was implying without implying.
Like certain
I
things
was
like
asking
that.
some tough questions because I had to know
Hey,
my
do
heart.
you see
know?
yourself with him 15 years from now, married on a beach with a house?
For real.
She's like,
And I'm
where
like-
the fuck did these questions come
Yeah, and
from?
I'm like, and how many carrots do you prefer? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just throwing questions.
Does it
out
have to
there.
be 4 or 5?
But I know for
girls
sure.
got to be 6.
But yeah, she had no idea though. She didn't know what was coming.
I didn't, and it's because.
And we will not know what's coming until after this break. You will.
Did Norman propose?
Did Norman propose? Exactly.
All right, welcome back to Happy Hour Holidaze. I know you guys were probably on the edge of your seats because I know I am in studio just listening to this story.
Did Norman propose?
Yeah.
Does Norman propose?
But John, going back to you knowing what he wants to do and being it's just like that's a conundrum within me that I don't even know what I would do. Yeah. But going to the point where you were saying, okay, so I'm asking all these questions. Now, what are we doing?
Yeah, so I'm a very spiritual person. Yeah. I'm a very spiritual friend. And I do have my own connections with God, and I do believe in outside interference and influence. So I felt like if I told anybody and they called her and
Did you tell Christian?
I didn't. I told nobody.
Christian, John has got secrets.
He did not know because Christian can't hold water. If he would have saw her, he would have been like, Alicia, guess what? Guess what? I know something.
Guess what I heard?
Yeah,
guess what I heard?
And he would like ruin it. So you got to let him know when it's about to happen, not anywhere near planning. So in my heart, even though I wanted to call her mom, tell her dad, I didn't tell anybody. Because I didn't want anyone to call her and be like, this is too soon, Alicia. What are you doing? You just met. Because, people think out of fear and they're not in the situation. So I took myself out of it and I said, Norman, if God said this, we're going to do what God said. And that's how we're going to do it. And me and Norman kept it between me and him and got everything we needed. We got, we let her believe it was her birthday party at the beach and we invited friends. The day of, or maybe the day before, because again, I could not tell people why, I sent a message. There's going to be something very special happening. I know this is last minute. If you can make it, please make it. And it was really hard for me because there was family members involved and everything, but I just knew this had nothing to do with us. This is going to be between her, Norman, and God. So as long as those three are there, it was okay.
But he did speak to my parents and ask for my hand in marriage.
He did. He ended up calling prior to let them know.
Like the day before? Or?
No. He had it planned out because he took part of my mom's ring and made it into the ring. So they had it planned. And my mom has a big mouth, so for her not to say anything, she was like,
she felt we were on an alignment when she
was like, "You're marrying a lawyer? Hell yeah!"
I'm not saying nothing.
And plus, they were just happy to finally see me happy, and so. It was my birthday, and I had a nice day with all of the girls.
What beach?
We were staying on the Clearwater Beach at the Sand Pearl.
Oh yeah,
because that was like my favorite hotel because it was like I love the ambiance outside. So I'm like, wow, this guy's pulling out all the stops for my birthday, So after that, he was like, oh, we're doing this. Jana's like, we're doing that, and I'm like, oh wow, like we had even rented one of those little cars to go around. And then she's like, okay, we have to do a dinner. So this is the first time we got into like a little, because he hasn't told me no about anything yet.
Had he told you I love you at that point yet, or no?
I think he did, yeah.
Oh, he did? Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Did you say it back?
Yeah.
Or did you say thank you?
No, I did say it back.
I love you, thank you.
I did say that.
God bless you.
But, so we were in the hotel room, and we were trying to get ready for the dinner, and I was like...
He was so nervous.
Open the blinds, and I was like, I love to have the door open and the breeze. I'm like, I'm a beachy girl. So he's like, no, could you close the blinds? And I'm like, well, that's why we're here. Like, why do you want the blinds closed? He's like, no, I just want it to be dark. And I'm like... What? So I was just like, okay, you're messing my vibes up now. Like, what's going on with you? I was like, that's the first time he ever said no. Like, and I think it's
I was on the beach
because she was on the beach setting up. I guess he didn't want me to.
That's why. Now that makes
sense.
sense.
Looked right over the beach, and when she went to open it, he could see me and the other girls, and we're setting up this huge like heart with flowers, and I literally had the bellman take the bell cart onto the beach. Like I had the whole Sand Pearl Resort helping me. Like, and he's like, oh my god, he's like, close that right now.
You gotta be an event planner, man.
Yeah,
so I was thinking the same thing for John.
Because Johnny hit us up like maybe 5 months before Christian's birthday. He's like, what do you think about this?
So he was like, no, keep it closed. And then I said, okay, well, let's go walk down by the beach. So he was like, no, it's too hot out there. I don't want to go out there right now. And I'm like,
fucking up your vibes again. You're
yeah.
Like, what's going on?
What's going on? So he's like, no, let's go to dinner. So then we asked the dinner place. We're like, yeah, I'm like, we're here for reservations. And they were like, oh, we don't have your seat. So I was like, what's going on? Like,
now he's not organized.
So then Jana's like, oh, and this is where it was a little weird because she's like, oh, we need to get in your room to get the balloons or something. And I'm like, okay. So then she's like, oh, I already got it. And I'm like, what? How'd you get it? And I said, you gave her the room key.
Different now.
I was like, you gave her the room key? Like, how did she get it out of there? Like, what's going on? So then Jana comes, and then she's like, let's go. All of a sudden, he wants to go on the beach now. I'm like, you said you didn't want to go on the beach, but now you want to go on the beach? So, okay, let's go. And then Jana takes me from there and blindfolds me. And so I was like, okay, what's going on? I guess he walks away. I walk out with her. So I'm thinking like, okay, I told him, I said, look, you've done enough for my birthday. That's enough. Like, I said, okay, he's doing another surprise. So that's what I was thinking. It's another birthday surprise.
Ford Mustang red.
So then I get out on the beach, and then she removes it, and he's on one knee.
Ooh.
And I literally was like, what? Just very surprised about it. The photographer was there. I was like, A+, because I always told him if I'm getting, I need a photographer to capture the moment. So she was there taking pictures, my parents, like some of my family and friends, and I was like, oh my gosh. So he proposed. And then after that, we were engaged.
Yeah. After engaged, how long did it take to get married?
So after that, we started the planning process because, he probably want to get some.
He's tired of waiting now.
He was like, 15 days from now, our wedding is here.
Basically. He's like, next week? Like,
I think my mom wanted to get him some. She was like, well, how about you guys just go to the courthouse and be officially married and then plan or whatever. So, no, we didn't do that, but we started looking for a location, and because of COVID, everything was kind of, like, weird.
Is this still 2020?
This was 2021.
2021?
Yeah. When we got married was February of 2021.
So, when did he propose exactly? August?
He proposed in August.
So then 7 months later?
Yeah.
August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 6 months later.
6 months later, yeah.
I got you beat, bro.
And we got married.
I got married in 5 months.
Oh, okay.
We went to the courthouse.
So we got married on Valentine's Day, and it wasn't like a planned thing. That was the only
He will
day
never
that they had
forget
available.
your anniversary.
Yeah.
He will never forget your anniversary.
Yeah. And that was the only day that they had available for the venue that I liked.
Damn, that's actually a surprise.
And it was Valentine's Day. So we ended up booking that, and then we had a wedding. And because of the proposal that he did and how beautiful it turned out,
you asked John
we
to plan
ended
the
up
wedding.
we ended up getting on a blog.
Oh, shit.
So, because somebody that we knew was like, oh, I want to share your COVID love story on the blog. And then from there, it kind of trickled onto other people seeing the love story and was like, you know what? We need something positive that's going on with everything that's going on. So we had the news actually at our wedding.
Which news?
We had like Bay News 9.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. They were there videotaping.
Did you
our
reach
wedding.
out to them or they reached out to you?
They reached out to us.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then
because they were following up on your initial engagement story,
exactly,
and they wanted to be part of the wedding.
Let me get that blog, dog. What blog is that? I want to be on it.
Yeah. So we had just an overwhelming response. Like I was like, this must be meant to be because literally Netflix hit us up for the Love Is Blind. We did like a blurb for them for the new year on what is like meeting during COVID. So we were like in their intro for Love Is Blind, which was they paid us to do that, and then
so you're on Netflix also.
We were just on that part of Netflix, the promo for Netflix, and then we just had all of these different outlets reaching out to us that want to talk about our love story. Steve Harvey. They reached out to us, which I was like, is this real? But they were like, we're going to fly you out. We want to put you on Steve Harvey. And I said, well, you know what? At this time, I was like, I don't mind, but what date is it going to be? Because I'm actually pregnant right now. Mm-hmm. And they were like, you're pregnant? And I said, yeah. And I'm planning my gender reveal, and I want to know like what date it's going to be so I can plan around it. They were like, gender reveal? Mm-hmm. Steve Harvey has never done a gender reveal. How about he do your gender reveal on air? And I'm like,
kidding
what?
me?
Wow, that's dope.
So I was like, okay. So they brought us on the show. We did our gender reveal on there.
How was it revealed? I'm just curious. Like, was it like just, oh, and your baby is going to be this?
Well,
or did they like swing a golf club?
Well, they had a box, and when they opened the box, the balloons popped out either whatever color it was. Okay. And I really didn't know what it was until then because my Mallory, she had the information, and she held it very secret, and she let them know. And
is Mallory your cousin?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they had all of them there, like on Zoom, on live on the show when they did that announcement. And so, yeah.
But she's missing one little detail.
About?
She found something out right before.
Yes.
And she called me and she's like, I'm a little conflicted. I know this information. I don't know how I could take this.
I literally found out, well,
what did
not
you have?
100% found out. Well, so I got married. So when we got married, like, we got pregnant within 3 months.
Oh, yeah, he was after.
Yeah.
He was ready.
So
he was like, I waited this long.
So we got pregnant within 3 months. I actually went to a checkup for, while being pregnant.
Like a
normal
physical,
checkup.
right? Yeah.
I just had really bad morning sickness, was sick constantly all the time, which is kind of normal for me with my other kids, but this was like extreme. So I just went for a checkup. She's like, do you want me to do like a feel on your breast, make sure everything's okay? I'm like, okay, no problem. She did that and she said, I kind of feel a little something there. And she's like, you might want to go get that checked out. She wrote me a
prescription?
A prescription. Yeah. I always say subscription. She wrote me a prescription to go get it checked out. And I said, you know what? Like I said, I had just bought some boobs with my money that I made. So I'm like, you know what? It's probably something with that because prior they had found like a lump that was benign before. And I said, you know what? It's probably that.
Can I ask what kind of implants? Were they silicone or saline?
They were silicone.
They were silicone?
Yeah.
Could that have attributed to what I'm guessing you're about to say?
No.
No?
They said no. But honestly, I think what really contributed to it.
We're talking about breast cancer.
Breast
right?
cancer, yeah, is stress.
Stress.
So the stress that I went through for, being in a toxic relationship for that many years, I think played a big part on it. I'm not going to say 100% that's what it was, but that along with other medicines that I had to take because I had a thyroid issue, I think that could have played a part in it too, but you just never know exactly what it could have been.
Does your family have a history of cancer?
No.
No.
No, we don't really have a history of cancer. And so when I went, literally, I put it on the top of the fridge and I wasn't going to even check on it. It literally flew down right in front of my face, like, bam. Like, God was like, you need to go get this done. So I went and got it done. They ordered me to do a biopsy while pregnant. So that was a red flag. If you're making me do a biopsy while pregnant, you must see something. Yeah. So they called me and my husband in, and this was right before I was going to go on the Steve Harvey show. And they had made the appointment for me to meet with them. And I was nervous about it, but I had to go on the Steve Harvey show like that day, and my appointment to meet with them was like the day after. And I'm like, obviously know what they're going to say or kind of thinking about what they're going to say. So the producers on the Steve Harvey show, they were like, you sound different. Everything okay? And I'm like, I kind of broke down with her, and I kind of told her what they kind of insinuated that I have, but they didn't give me like confirmation about what type or anything. So she was like, let's keep it happy. Let's not even bring that up. You enjoy your moment. And later down the road, we can discuss that. Let's not even touch that subject. So I said, she's like, do you still want to do this? I said, of course. Like, this is what I've been looking forward to. The joy about the baby, finding out what it is. I'm excited about this. So we continued on, and it was a great reveal. And we found out it was a girl. My husband initially wanted a boy. So people are like, you could tell he was
comments,
upset.
The social media comments.
Yeah, you know what?
Gosh.
Every father wants a son.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it.
And I don't think it's wrong for wanting something, of caring. Yeah. But he was happy with whatever healthy baby it was.
Yeah. I'm sure at the end of the day.
Yeah. And and God gives you what you need. And I think he needed a daughter. And he's a girl dad now to the fullest, and he loves being a dad. And, finding out the fact that I had cancer while pregnant.
Did Norman know you had cancer at that point?
What, the reveal?
No, during the Steve Harvey.
He
He also knew also.
He also knew.
So both y'all had to just act like nothing was
and
going
going
on.
back to social media comments, there were people saying the most ugliest things, and this is why you shouldn't make an opinion. They were both in like surprise shock mode. So like people were like, they don't even like each other. They're not even all over each other. Why are they not even holding hands? What kind of this and that?
And you know what we have to say?
This girl just found
fuck social media.
No, but it was so crazy.
People were commenting. They were like, "Do they really
love each other?
They're not gonna last a year. Check back in a year. They'll be,
they're
just
both in shock. Like
haters.
just like. You're trying to be happy, but you just found out something and that's why we can't judge a book by its cover. You don't know what people are going through.
Have you put this story out before?
Yeah.
Okay, so now people know. So now all those people that negatively...
Not this answer to it. They didn't know, because on the Steve Harvey show, they didn't mention the cancer.
No. I'm saying now.
Well,
now
a lot of those people follow the story, and they see now what it is.
So all you haters out there with negative comments at the time, fuck you. So, I'll say it for you.
So it was definitely a hard time because, finding out while you're pregnant that you have cancer, we were just like, okay, what do we do?
What do you do?
What do we do? Like, how do you treat this? And we went to a couple doctors. One of the doctors had a completely different plan that was just like, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
Don't you get like a double mastectomy?
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna give you a double mastectomy. You're not gonna have any nipples because you are pregnant. We're gonna go in there, basically chop you up, and that's it. And then my husband was like, no, we're not going with that. We're going to see other doctors. And I found another doctor, Dr. Cabordi. Shout out to him. Amazing doctor in Tampa, one of the best.
At Moffitt Cancer Center? Or?
No, he's with Baycare. He's with Baycare, but he's one of the top surgeons. And he said, you know what? We're going to do a lumpectomy. You're still going to have your nipples. We're going to get in there, just take what needs to come out. And then So
they just removed the tumor is what you're saying?
Yeah. And then they were able to, but I did have to start chemo.
And she's still pregnant. Yeah, even with that surgery.
And they tell you.
1 minute left.
Okay. No. And they tell you.
We're going to find out the rest of this story after this break.
Does she beat breast cancer?
Does she beat breast cancer?
Well, you're here.
She's alive. So, we'll be right back. Like, follow, comment, subscribe.
Welcome back to Happy Hour Holidaze. Alicia was telling us about when she found out at the Steve Harvey show, it was probably the day before, that she probably had breast cancer. So we were going through, some emotions here, social media not being a very nice people. So how did you overcome all these obstacles all at once? I mean, you're freshly married, you're pregnant, you have all these emotions right now. You're probably wondering, hey, why me? So how did you fight through that? Keep a positive attitude, find the doctor of your choosing that actually was willing to go through the surgery to remove the lump.
So, did you go through the lumpectomy or?
Yeah, I had a lumpectomy, and then our plan was to wait till the baby is in the third trimester because the baby had to be fully developed before I started chemo. And then they said that it shouldn't affect the baby because the baby's already fully developed. But that was a hard decision for me and my husband to make, whether we do chemo or not, because obviously you have a choice. Yeah. But
so after they did the lumpectomy, you still had cancer?
Yeah, because they removed the cancer, but you still have to, there's
the remnants of
there's still remnants, little, so they have to make sure that they kill off any.
Can you tell me what chemo is? Because I have no clue exactly what it is. Do they put you in a radiation machine or something like that?
Chemo, chemo, they just put it in through an IV.
It's a liquid,
it's like a liquid drug, but it it kills all your blood cells pretty much.
Did they tell you how that could?
The bad.
Did they tell you how that could affect the baby? I don't know, because that's a hard decision to make. It's a challenging decision.
Yeah,
to make.
It's very challenging, and we prayed about it. But not only that, they basically was like, well, the baby needs a mom. So it's like I could choose not to do it, and then I have the baby, and the baby won't have a mom. because it could have gotten a lot worse because it was an aggressive type. I did catch it at a good time, but it was still an aggressive type of cancer. So.
And how is your child? Perfectly fine, healthy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They said that, she might be on the smaller side, especially since we kind of induced like 6 weeks early to kind of finish my treatment. They said that she just might be a little bit smaller, and
That's
she might
not a
be
bad thing.
she might be a little bit behind, like because she's a preemie. But she started walking at 7 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't sound like she's behind.
She surpassed every goal by far.
How old is she now?
She was ready to leave the hospital before you were.
Yeah.
She was already walking out?
She was.
They're like, oh, she can
even
go.
though she was 6 months early, she didn't have to even touch the NICU. She actually
6 weeks early.
6 weeks early.
Oh, okay.
She didn't even have to go on the NICU. She was born with a set of lungs that Mariah Carey had. She just was perfect. There was nothing.
She came out screaming, "This woman's on fire."
Yeah, and I actually named her Journey.
Oh, that's a great name.
That we were on together. I said Journey so much. I said my journey. And I said Journey. That's her name.
How's it spelled? Is it spelled like
Journi with
I
an
like
I.
that. Yeah, there you go.
So we named her Journey, and she was born happy and healthy. And during the time that I was going through chemo and everything, people were like, girl, they were like, you got chemo right here. You're on chemo and you're doing what? Like, literally, I just saw my life flash before me, and I said, you know what? I did not create a legacy. Like, I did not finish these goals that I have. So, and because when you're going through something, or at least when I'm going through something, I'm in go mode. So I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? So I literally I was like, I'm going to become a realtor. I took that exam, became a realtor while doing chemo. I just, in my head, I already knew that I was like...
all kinds of certifications.
All kinds of certifications. I got certified for do nipples for cancer patients. I just knew that I wanted to take what I went through and to give back to help others. So I said, you know what, I'm already licensed to do permanent makeup. Let me go get certified to do nipples for breast cancer patients, which I went and I did that. I took a class all the way in Texas to get that done. And then I knew I wanted to start a nonprofit. And I said, there's so many things that were missing for me that I know that I can offer to other women that find themselves in similar situations. And a lot of people don't know that, first of all, you can be pregnant and do chemo, or, they tell you don't even take Tylenol, don't have alcohol, don't drink wine, but you can do the most dangerous drug while pregnant. So I said, you know what, I want to start a nonprofit. So in my head, I was already trying to get that together. And my husband, it kind of sparked him he was the pastor's son, but he was a preacher, but he was like a guest preacher. Like, people would just invite him to speak. But it made him want to get into ministry and start his own. So he started, it's a year now that he started his own ministry, and I helped him with that. And then I just launched and began my nonprofit, and we actually had our first event.
What's your nonprofit called?
It's called Journey for Two.
Journey for Two.
So,
is Journey spelled with an I?
Yep.
So it's about your daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and it's for two because it's about the mom and the baby. And
what about the father? The father had to be there,
Yeah.
Journey for three.
Yeah, the father had to be there too. The father does go through a lot as well, but we're focusing on the people who are
I got you.
And taking the chemo.
Yeah.
A little different.
So, but we are helping moms that are any type of cancer, not just breast cancer, that are going through it. Some of these moms are not as fortunate as me that have a father in the picture. Some of them are single moms that are battling cancer and don't have anybody there for them, and they're trying to navigate being a mom, taking their kids to daycare, who's going to watch their kids while they're going to treatment. So I want to implement things that are able to make things easier for them. offer child care services or at least money to help for that. Transportation, some of them are not able to get rides or have cars what, so I also want to create awareness for women that are pregnant, because believe it or not, like some of these women don't find out while they're pregnant, but it's laying dormant, or it starts to spark while they are pregnant. So they find out a little bit down the line when they have a baby, after they have a baby. Because when you're pregnant, your hormones just
go crazy.
Yeah. And so that's kind of like what happened with me. And a lot of women, they kind of find out sometimes when the baby's 2 or 3, but they didn't know that they had it while they were pregnant. So just trying to create awareness and different screenings that they can do while being pregnant to find out, so they can catch it early before they get to stage 3 or stage 4.
So what event are you having that you mentioned? You said you're having your first
event?
Yes.
I just had my first event last week, and it was called Painting with a Purpose. So I got a bunch of girls together. I put an invite out, and actually it was like a lot of people, some of the people that I know, but a lot of people that I don't know. And a lot of them were either cancer survivors, or actually some were actually under treatment, and they heard about it. And I was expecting originally to plan this event for like 20 to 25 people, and we had over 80 people.
Success.
Yes.
That's awesome.
A success.
Spreading awareness.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was the event about? Painting with a Purpose. I'm assuming they were painting something.
Yeah, we were painting the...
Where was it held at?
It was held in Midtown.
Midtown. Oh, shit. Midtown is nice, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like Midtown.
It was held in Midtown, and we had a professional painter. She came out, and we painted the ribbon with flowers coming out of it. And we also had one of the doctors that helped me through it. She spoke at that event, and we had we had a woman that was under treatment speak, and then I told my story, and we just, we had a vibe, we had a good time, and we also, a lot of the girls that were there, they were like, when is the next event?
I was about to ask that question. Yeah. Are you planning one a month, one every 2 weeks?
I'm probably planning to do 3 to 4 events for the year, every year. The next one will probably be
March.
I'm thinking March, and then probably for Mother's Day, and then of course we're gonna probably do something in October.
So, do you see that this foundation, Journey for Two, going to maybe outside of Tampa and maybe also influencing the Southeast region, where maybe you do actually have one a week, just to spread awareness in different cities? It doesn't have to be the same city,
Yeah. I definitely want to grow it on a national level. I already have.
Because you'd be helping so many moms out.
And I already not just have moms, but family members, right?
Mm-hmm. Family members, yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I mean, you don't even know what that means. Someone, that you love so close to you, pregnant with cancer, you don't even know what to say. Like, I would let her lead. You don't know what. I'm just like,
you'll believe what some people say.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be like,
I'm pregnant and I got cancer. I'd be like, shit, you got fucked.
You'll hear some people like, what? You're doing chemo while pregnant? Like, I can't believe you're doing that. It's like, you're telling me that while I'm doing this, like, I have a choice.
First of all, they're not doctors.
Yeah.
Right.
Why do they have an opinion?
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion.
And then they're like...
Everybody's got an asshole. Some of them smell.
The favorite thing that people say, they're like, oh my gosh, like, I knew somebody with breast cancer, they died the other day. And I'm like...
Jesus.
She had to get off the internet. She had to get off Facebook.
Oh, and I know somebody who it came back again last week, and now they're stage 4. And I'm like, thanks.
That's exactly what I want to hear.
I got high hopes all of a sudden.
Right.
I mean,
but
shit.
one thing, she definitely handled cancer with grace and poise. Like, I'm telling you, this girl would have chemo on a Tuesday and she'd be back at it on a Friday. She didn't even wear it. Like, you couldn't even tell, like, what she was going through. She just pushed through it. She's like, I don't want any negativity. Don't talk. Like, there was, like, a time. She's like, I don't want to hear anything negative.
Yeah.
Didn't you
she
say
won't
you had
hang
a
up
bald
on
head?
you. Like, you cannot tell her anything.
Yeah, with chemo.
You got a picture of that?
Yeah.
Let me see real quick.
Yeah.
Because, damn, dog. That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Why does chemo make you lose your hair?
Because it's a chemical that's going into your body.
It makes you.
Do you think if like I took that chemical, I lose my body hair instead of doing like laser hair removal?
Oh my God, you don't need that.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm hairy as shit.
It is poison. Like it literally poisons your body to kill everything.
I'm just trying not to shave no more.
It just kills off the good and the bad. But this is me, pregnant.
Holy cow.
And bald.
And beautiful.
Here, show. You point it to the camera.
And so imagine my husband that he's like, hey, I scored. I married the supermodel. I rushed to this marriage. And he didn't know that he was going to be tested through sickness and health within the first 3 months.
Hey, when you get married, that's the way it works.
But you see, it takes me back to why I did not intervene. When he said God told me, my opinion didn't matter at that point.
Imagine.
So you guys have been married for 3 years now?
No, we're going on 3 years,
3 years
in February. But imagine if I didn't give him a chance.
Yeah.
I may not have been here.
Because you did cancel on him a couple of times.
Because it took her being pregnant to find out.
Yeah.
You know what? All it tells me is Norman's very persistent.
Yes.
What was one of the most valuable lessons that you got from that journey, Alicia? Like, through getting married, the whole journey. Obviously, you had journey, but but what was one of the
Can we show Journey?
Can we show Journey? Let's see Journey.
Okay.
Yeah, I do love that name with an I. If you would have spelled it with an EY, I would have been like, damn, that kid's fucked.
Yeah, with the I. And she is definitely...
Who came up with that name?
Me.
You did?
My husband wasn't very
What's the middle
open
name?
to it.
What's the middle name?
Adriana.
Oh, I like that name.
He
Adriana.
wasn't very open to it, but he's like, hey, you're going through a lot.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Whatever you want to name her, I am not going to argue. You basically...
He's a smart man. Yes, honey. Whatever you'd like.
He's like, I'll let you have that one. And it grew on him. He's like, he likes it now, but...
I like that name. Adriana, though, that a buddy of ours, Adrian, his daughter's second daughter, her name is Adrina. So it's almost the same.
Pretty.
So this is Journey.
Journey! She looks like Mom a lot.
Right?
She
My
looks
little
like Mom a
mini-me.
lot.
Oh my goodness.
My little mini me. But
So what's next for Alicia?
so what's next is just, I do multiple things, maybe too many things that Jana gets on me about, and my husband. He's like, because I am someone that I like to accomplish things, but I don't always follow through with it. Like, I'm like, I want to know that I can get it done, and I do get it done, but just because I have moved on to the next thing is because I just don't feel like the fit was for me, but I do want to focus on my nonprofit.
Do you still do the MLM?
No.
That
was
That
was there
That was
for
that-
COVID.
It served its purpose.
It served its purpose,
Do
and
you
that's
still,
what I said.
do you still do realty?
Real estate, I just will use that for...
John was like, you better have quit.
No, I would use...
I'm trying to quit now.
I'm a licensed, and I'll keep my license active right now, but it's just to help if, a client of mine or somebody personal, I don't advertise it, but if someone's looking and they want me to help, then of course I'd help them. But
So we're wrapping
my
up.
focus is the nonprofit right now.
So we're wrapping up the show. We like to ask our guests, what are some final words you could leave the audience with? It could be words of motivation. It could be just something that you want to leave on this world that could be remembered forever. Do you have anything to say to the audience that you would like to be remembered forever? Words of remembrance. Boom, that's what we're going to start calling it.
Let me think. This is where
Okay, I'll let her think, and I'll tell you mine because I already know mine too. And I kind of already talked about them on here. I think something that I would want to leave with people is when someone is telling you something, like kind of how like Norman entrusted me with that information, we have to take ourselves out of it because sometimes our opinions can really influence people's lives, and they might not make decisions because we've really influenced them with our opinion, and our opinion may not be right. And I could have intervened and been like, Alicia, oh my God, Norman called me. He wants to marry you. I think this is too quick. Don't do it. And look what was so far ahead that I couldn't see. She needed to be in this situation. She needed to meet Norman. God had something that I couldn't see, and I could have gotten in the way of that by putting my opinion and, talking to her and then putting that in her mind. So I try really hard to just listen more than I speak and try to support people and not put my opinion and force it onto them. And I think that's so important because we could really detour people. Like, it could be anything, like a business venture you tell someone. Like, don't deter them, like, oh, that's going to be hard. You'll never make it. Wow. Oh, only 5% of people make that happen. Like, don't, like, that's oh, wow, point. You know what? Hey, there's 5% of people that made it happen. Why can't you be the next? Yeah. There's a different way we can kind of
bring each other up.
Yeah. Bring each other up.
That's really what it is.
Always remain positive, and that's what she could say. I'm always, like, anything negative, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. And when I was going through the cancer, I just wanted nothing but positivity around me. I didn't want to hear anything negative. And I just used that time to kind of turn your pain into purpose and just remain positive through it all. And I think that I just looked at it as I'm going through this for a reason. Right. And what is that reason? And I felt like God put me through that to not only like tear me down and build me up into a better person, but also so I can know for sure how all the women that I'm going to be helping feels. Like I had to feel it myself. Mm-hmm. And so I think that definitely helped me through what I was going through. And it helped me remain positive because I thought about it like that, and I said, there has to be a reason that I'm going through this, and I just try to remain positive through it all.
That's it. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, and I think that's one of the biggest things. That's why I love Christian so much is because of the positivity. Every time I'm around that guy, it's always positive, and I like being around positive people, and I think everybody's like that.
15 seconds.
Okay. Thank you for watching Happy Hour Holidaze. Thank you to Alicia for coming on and sharing her story along with Jana. And please like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. And fuck this guy.